For 70 minutes, PSG had troubles with the ball because Nagelsmann Bayern Munich pressed high, but also PSG midfielders couldn't find the right positions to create passing lines. When Paris Saint-Germain tried to play out from the back, they had numerical superiority in Zone A. However, Bayern Munich pressed high and aggressive because Chupo Moting and Musiala went over the center-backs and the goalkeeper. Meanwhile, three midfielders tried to mark the midfielders and the fullbacks. Since PSG used their 4 defenders plus 2 midfielders to create passing lines, but they were covered by Bayern's pressure, and no one dropped back to create a passing line. As a consequence, the center-backs like Sergio Ramos tried to find the free spaces on the flanks. Nevertheless, Bayern's pressure were aggressive and this didn't give time to the center-backs to connect properly with the full-backs. Nagelsmann tactics were smart to avoid Messi and Neymar to be involved in PSG's build-up, because when their high pressure didn't work, they dropped back in a mid-block and waited on PSG's half. When Verratti or Pereira received the ball, Bayern pressed them and the French players couldn't play forward. As a consequence, the center-backs were in charge to take the ball into Bayern's half. However, as they didn't have time and space, they had to decide quickly, and many times they couldn't connect properly with the midfielders. PSG offensive structure was with 3 at the back, since Pereira joined Marquinhos and Ramos. In the midfield, Zaire Emery, Verratti and Soler tried to create passing lines. Meanwhile, Mendes and Hakimi gave width to the team, while Messi and Neymar played as strikers. On the other hand, Bayern Munich's offensive structure was with 3 at the back: De Ligt, Upamecano and Pavard. Kimmich was alone in the midfield because De Ligt and Pavard moved forward to create numerical superiority with Kimmich. While Coman and Cancelo were opened, Goretzka and Sané tried to occupy the half spaces. Also, Chupo Moting and Musiala occupied the central channels. Therefore, in the build-up, Goretzka and Musiala were close to Kimmich to have more passing lines. However, as they advanced with the ball, they moved to the half spaces and Bayern Munich had 6 players in attack. Thanks to that, these players attract to the center back and fullback, and this free the winger like Cancelo. With his great movements inside, he gave more space to Cancelo to receive the ball, but also PSG midfielders didn't help the defensive line, since we can see that Soler is not close to Cancelo. PSG dropped back with 7 players to their box. However, as they don't defend compact, they left space on the edge of the box, where Pavard and Kimmich were free to receive the ball. Thus, Bayern had 3 players against only 1 PSG player. Since Messi and Neymar didn't drop back, PSG was not compact in defense. Therefore, Bayern had time and space to move the ball, and also they had 3 players on the wings because always one striker attract to the opponent's fullback, and this free Coman. For the second half, both managers made substitutions. Nagelsmann took off Cancelo and Davies came in. Therefore, he was the winger on this side and Coman moved to the right. Galtier took off Hakimi and Kimpembe came in. Therefore, Marquinhos moved as a right fullback and Ramos and Kimpembe were the center backs. However, on the right side, PSG was unbalanced because there were a lot of space between Ramos and Marquinhos. The midfielders didn't mark Goretzka and many times Ramos had to save PSG. Bayern's goal started with the center backs in PSG's half. Kimmich was alone in the midfield and he attracted to 3 players, and also 5 players attracted to the rest. Therefore, this created a space for Goretzka, who dropped back to receive the ball, since Pereira didn't follow him. Therefore, on the left side there is a 3 versus 3 and Bayern had positional superiority because there is a lot of space between Marquinhos and and Ramos, because Marquinhos tried to cover Davies and Chupo Moting was smart to move there. As Ramos covered him well, Chupo Moting couldn't progress with the ball, but Davies was free on the wing because Marquinhos moved to cover Ramos and Verratti and Pereira were far from him. Also, we can see that Coman is free on the opposite flank. When Davies received the ball, Musiala joined Chupo Moting and this attracted Mendes and Kimpembe. Therefore, they left free to Coman, who would run to the second post. But also Ramos and Pereira weren't aggressive to cover the cross. When Mendes realized that Coman is coming with a space to score, it's too late. After the goal, Vitinha and Mbappé came in. Thus, the last 15 minutes, PSG was stronger on and off the ball, since Messi and Mbappé tried to mark the center backs, and the midfielders had individual marking. In order to be more aggressive, Neymar usually joined Mbappé and Messi, and Bayern's players had to move the ball quickly. Also, Bayern Munich stopped pressing high and aggressive, and this created passing lines for Messi and Neymar, who were involved in the build-up. Mendes and Vitinha tried to give width to the team, while Mbappé was always ready to run behind Bayern's defensive line. In the same way, Soler started to be important because he took the ball to the final third. Thanks to his great skills, many times he got right of two players and assisted Mendes. Mbappé was always ready to anticipate the center backs and receive the ball in the box. Leave your thoughts about this game, don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching. This video is brought to you by Play by Metric Sports, the fundamental tool for every coach and analyst. Create and manage all your video analysis in one platform. Use coupon NasirCelada at checkout for a 10% discount.